From addressing the climate crisis to creating job opportunities, we are committed to driving mindset change. It's not just a show, it's a transformational space, a space that inspires you to believe in yourself. Join us on the Mindset Sport and be the change you want to see in the world.
Welcome to the Mindset Sport and be the change that you want to see in the world. Today, we're going to dive straight to a very, very exciting conversation with my co-host Daniel. And the theme of this conversation today is, as we celebrate Father's Day tomorrow, 18 June 2023, how can fathers empower young people to be able to drive solutions and environmental action? With me is Daniel Afumbom, who is my co-host. Daniel, how are you?
Well, I'm glad to be back on the show for a numerous amount of times. I can't even keep track at this point. But I think that this will be an amazing conversation because a lot of people are watching, and especially fathers. So it's good that they're getting their appreciation just in time.
Especially father. And shout out to all of you who are tuning in. We have, I can see here, alias Young Pro is tuned in, alias Young Promo. And then we also have all those of you who are watching, joining us here. We are today on the Mindset Sport, and we're going to be
Welcome to the Mindset Sport, where we turn challenges into opportunities. We believe in the power of young minds to transform the world. From addressing the climate crisis to creating job opportunities, we are committed to driving mindset change. It's not just a show, it's a transformational space, a space that inspires you to believe in yourself. Join us on the Mindset Sport and be the change you want to see in the world.
And be the change you want to see on the world. We can see happy weekend to everyone watching with me. Yes, thank you very much, Young Promo. It's a great pleasure to have you watching the show. Today, a very important discussion, how fathers can empower you to drive solutions. And when we look at what is happening out there, the important role that fathers play in shaping their children's attitudes and values, and how they can use this influence to encourage you to develop and drive solutions, particularly in the realm of environmental action. The question then becomes, what key values can fathers instill in their children to inspire them to take action, Afu?
Well, that's a brilliant question. And I think that many fathers can't say that they've instilled action in their kids. But for those who can, I think that it's important that they instill action because generally the kids aren't really going to remember what was eaten for breakfast on a Tuesday 3 years ago, but they're going to remember the values that their parents taught them throughout hardships and how to endure stuff that don't necessarily go their way and how to be a stronger person, both physically and mentally.
Absolutely. And I can see Young Promo says, thank you, mentor, and our beautiful Afumbom. As you watch, don't forget to share. Thank you very much, Young Promo. Yes, Afu, that point that you have brought up is a very important point. So what you're saying is that fathers can instill values, right? And that kids do forget quickly and that they wouldn't even remember what they ate for breakfast. What did you mean by that? Please break it down.
Well, speaking from self-perspective, realistically, if someone asked me what I ate for breakfast yesterday, if I told you, I'd be lying. Because realistically, we don't remember, but people tend to remember the things that impact them. Did the breakfast I ate yesterday impact me? Not necessarily, but did the advice I got from a mentor help me? And do I still remember it word for word? Yes. So I think that in order to provide value for your children, you have to do the things that many people are afraid to do, which is mentor them and guide them, because realistically, they're going to remember the time that you gave them advice, not the time that you gave them breakfast. And breakfast doesn't really mean the food you eat in the morning, just things that.
So are you trying to insinuate that fathers only give breakfast to their kids, or that that's the only thing that is seen of fathers, or what?
No, not necessarily. I was trying to say that breakfast is not necessarily the food you eat in the morning. It can also be like things that don't add as much value. And I think that although Mother's Day is the prime parental day of the year, fathers are overlooked, you know, and dad lives matter. So
yes, why are fathers overlooked? And because what you're saying is Mother's Day is the prime day, and that Father's Day is overlooked somehow. Please break it down so that our viewers can understand.
Well,
Why?
I'm neither of them. I'm neither a mother or father, but I'm sure
Yes,
that
but you are a daughter. You are a
but I
child.
think that
A father
Mother's
and a mother.
Day is more celebrated because there are more mothers in the world than fathers, as many fathers
Really?
run away from their responsibilities. There are many.
They go to look for milk. They go to look for what is that? What does that? There is this thing. They call it what? Please explain it for the sake of our.
I don't know. But back to what I was saying. I think that there are many more mothers in the world, many more active mothers and fathers in the world. So I think that's why Mother's Day is more celebrated, because many more people have mother figures in their life than fathers. But the fathers that are there, they shouldn't feel underlooked, because they still matter, and for coming this far, they also deserve accolades. So happy Father's Day to those who are still in your kids' lives.
Yeah, but you're talking about it and smiling, and I am going to ask you this question, which is that from what you are saying, the fathers can instill values like respect for nature. They can instill responsibility. Fathers can instill creativity, and they can instill problem solving, and they can instill leadership. By teaching children about the importance of these values in the context of solutions, especially solutions that can touch other people's lives, environmental stewardship, fathers can inspire them to take action. Do you think that if every father was to inspire their youth, their children, boys and girls, with these kind of values of responsibility, creativity, problem solving, and leadership, we would be able to make a meaningful change in the world today, as is currently the case? Is that so?
Yes. And I think that it doesn't only have to be fathers. I think that it can be any parent, any guardian. But for Father's Day, we're going to focus more on fathers. But I feel like whether you're a father or not watching this, and you have somebody who you can mentor them, because who knows, that person might be the person to make the most innovative change in the continent, or the most innovative change in the world. But you never know unless you try. If you say, oh, I tried with this, I tried with this, realistically, you just need to keep going, because at the end of the day, the planet needs us. They don't need one people, they don't need two people, they need all the 8 billion citizens of the globe.
Absolutely. You're bringing up a very important point. I think that is a point that we cannot lose. A father is not just someone who serves children. A father is someone who is selfless and can be able to show love, vision, providing a clear pathway for each and everyone. Because everyone, when we grew up in the village of Jinquin in Com, the African proverb that rallied each and everyone up was that it takes a village to raise a child, meaning that everyone's child is everyone's child, right? It's not just your mother or father, but if you're a child in a community, you are everybody's child. And I think that spirit of unity and needing one another to succeed is actually it. And from what you are saying is that we all need to play a part. But now that takes me to the second question, which I think is very, very crucial for this conversation that we're having today. The discussion on the values that fathers can instill in their children to inspire them to take action takes me now to the second question, which is how can fathers lead by example when it comes to solutions, and use practical examples to answer this?
Well, I think that fathers can lead through example, because realistically, many children, we don't really like to see till we believe. Well, we don't like to believe until we see it. So I think that, for example, in my case, my dad was like, be hardworking, be hardworking. If he wasn't as hardworking, I don't think that I would believe that. Would I really listen to that? No. Because why aren't you doing it yourself? Why are you being hypocritical? But when you show concrete examples to show to your children, both biologically and spiritually, and in a mentorship way, that shows people that, okay, this person's doing it, so when I looked up to is doing that, so that shows that I should do that, so that I can be in the same place as them. Also, we have a question for you.
Yes, where is the question?
Have called you before we move on to that. Alias Young Promo says, wow, thank you, Afro, powerful message. Anytime.
Yes.
But back to the question. Many people call you the father of Africa's climate change solution. How do you think that title has led to Father's Day, as it's not being a father of a child, it's being the father of an entire continent?
I think it fits back to what you said earlier, Afu, that people look up to see how they can be guided, right? And that's why you use the example that what a kid eats in the morning will definitely forget what he or she have taken for breakfast or even lunch. And that what they look up to is what can make their lives better in a mentorship way. And I think that through the work we do, what I have tried to demonstrate is to be selfless in providing guidance to whoever is willing to take in a selfless way, regardless of whether I know you or not. And I think that selfless spirit of embracing everyone with the same passion, with the same selflessness, the same kindness, in a collective way to make sure that they can see opportunities and challenges is what I've made a lot of people to see that being a father is not necessarily only to your biological kids, but you can be a father through solutions by showcasing that things can be done and people start to do it. That then means each and every one of us should play the role of a father wherever we are, and the role of a mother wherever we are, regardless of whether the people we are with are our family members or not. Because at the end of the day, that leadership role that shows selflessness, passion, the ability to be able to lead and guide people is actually what stands out. And to answer your question in a nutshell, it just by preferring solutions in a selfless, kind way that a lot of people then have actually seen that that's something that they never saw before, especially when it comes to the solutions space in this environmental arena.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yes.
And question.
And let me just pull this up.
Oh,
I think
Yvonne,
Young promotes
Alia
this.
Young
Fathers are really
also
underrated.
says- Yeah.
Go ahead.
So back to what we were talking about. So I think that many people across the world, they're like, oh, my father was this to me, my father was toxic, my father was this, my father was that. What is your advice to people whose biological fathers aren't the best, but they still want to have a father figure in their lives? Do you think they should turn to God, turn to a priest, turn to a reverend father, turn to, what do you think?
I think the truth is that responsibility is a self-endeavor, which means that each and everyone have to take responsibility. And responsibility is to lead, to show the right way, and to guide people and hold their hands to be able to move to the next step. And anyone who is not playing that role is failing in his or her endeavor. What does that mean? Fathers should lead by example through their own actions.
Okay, but what if
And when
there's
it comes
no father in the first place? Then what?
Come again.
What if there's no father in the first place?
Where there is no father in the first place, the kids themselves should know that with or without a father, the responsibility also lies in you as a kid, because you have to build yourself. And therefore, to think that you can always succeed because you have a father or mother, to me, is not enough. Each and every one of us should understand that having a mother and a father is a blessing. And when those fathers and mothers are helping, it's a double blessing. And therefore, for those kids out there who don't have a father, you should be able not only to look up to the one that could have been your father, but to anyone that is doing what can be able to make you move a needle forward, that is inspiring you to take environmental or any development solutions, that can make you see that at least this person have the values and the qualities that is making me different, and you look up to that. And those are called role models. And role models in society should be those who add value, not those who subtract.
Excellent question. And I think that the topic of role models really brings into what we're going to change this conversation to. And before I continue,
I think Young Pro, read what Young Pro has written.
Great question, Afu. Haha. We are all looking up to God as our first biological father. Amen.
Amen. I think Young Promo is making me laugh here. Yes, Afu, our next question. It looks like you came with a bucket of them today.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's Father's Day. I'm not a father. You are. So
Well, Father's Day is tomorrow. Actually, today is just warming up in preparation.
Well, most people are going to watch this tomorrow, so it's going
correct. Yes, it's Father's Day.
Yeah.
Lazy. Yes, I think Ngam Louisa have said read.
That's really true. Having both parents in your life is a big blessing.
Yes, thank you very much, Gam Louisa and Young Promo. Those are my biggest fans on my Facebook page. They are wonderful fans. And for all of you who are watching in, thank you so much for the support. Yes, I will proceed.
Anyways, so now we have shifted the conversation from biological fathers to role models. Was your role model growing up your father, or did you have to find one elsewhere?
I never had a role model.
Oh,
To be very honest, I think
is that
what
why you
shaped me.
try before? Is that why you try to be a role model to others to make up for the fact that you didn't have one?
Yes, partly, and secondly, is when you look at the continent of Africa today, to be very honest, and even across the world, I think that the benchmark of role models have been something questionable.
Oh, define
and
questionable.
yes, has been something questionable from the perspective that the definition of role model, especially in the eyes of the millennials and Generation Z today, is mostly optics. And when I talk of optics, is which kind of car you drive and how many buildings and all those sort of things, rather than solutions oriented. And I say this with a very caveat: not all that have those flashy things are not doing something that is substantive in changing lives of communities. But I'm talking about moral values and the ability to be able to live a life that is worthy of living, especially in the face of young people who have the appetite of leapfrogging and thinking that they can be able to change the world tomorrow, even if they don't put in effort today. And therefore, the role models that actually needs to be reality are those who speak truth to power in this, in terms of that if you don't work, you can't eat, no pain, no gain, no effort, no input, no output. And therefore, making everyone to understand reality and know that it's not achieved overnight, and that we must be able to love, to care, to be kind, to be selfless, and that we should utilize collectivism, not individualism. And that with all these together, we can then be able to make progress. That has not been the narrative of most of them. And therefore, becoming a role model to articulate these issues and guide, and especially use background that one grew up with from a poor background, no shoes, no clothes, well, having one pair of a shirt to wear to school, the same shirt watch over the weekend, and then with one trouser, and that where you come from doesn't matter. You can be able to make it regardless of where you come from, and not necessarily the package that is being used to be able to ascertain what is supposed to be. And therefore, falsehood and lies seem sometimes to overshadow reality. And you know, we cannot walk and complain our way to the top. It's hard work, it's dedication, it's loyalty, it's humility, it's kindness, it's selflessness. And all these aspects, when you put them together, the so-called role models that we keep talking about sometimes do not actually present this aspect, but they present optics, which to me actually only derail reality and make the youth think that they're missing something that they could have gotten if they could have complained their way to.
Excellent answer, very thorough and very comprehensive on how optics is something that many young people across the continent and across the world are moving towards, rather than the actual character of the individual that are quote unquote their role model.
Excellent.
And Luisa Stacey Gam says, I really admire Dr. Richard for his undying efforts, being a role model and a good mentor too. It's a huge responsibility. It really is a huge responsibility. And before we round up, how would you, on this question, we have another comment from Aliyah Young Promo. He's really on a roll today. Thank you for breaking it down in a way that even a common man will understand, Doctor.
Thank you, Gamluza and alias Su Young Promo. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Yes, Afu.
So before these multitude of questions, our topic was going to shift from role models to responsibilities. And correct. As we said in the beginning, some parental figures like to run away from their responsibilities. So how have you chose to not run away from your responsibility, not as a biological father, but as a father of the continent? Because obviously managing 54 countries is not for the faint of heart. It's for the brave. And through that, the brave also endure challenges, and the brave, most importantly, also endure defeat. But what is important is making that defeat not define you. So how have you made defeat in the past not define you and kept on pushing, kept on persevering so that you're the person you are today and the people that many innovative volunteers and many people across the continent and across the globe look up to?
Yes, thank you very much, Afu, for that. I mean, I'll go back to where I started earlier. I grew up without a role model. What I meant by that was that we were told to work hard. That's great. But I think there was not really somebody that one was admiring that he wanted to become to be like that person. And out of that, I have to chart mine and create my own path. And what I noticed in the course of that is that I am not alone in that, state of not just confusion in what you want to become or who is guiding you to become. That there are a lot of young people across the world, not only in Africa, that sometimes don't know where they can be able to go. But when I figure out what I wanted to be, I noticed that it is my responsibility then to start guiding young people to see opportunities in challenges, to be able to understand that they can be able to find a pathway in which they can build themselves. And it starts in a very simple way. What are you passionate about? Can you then be able to start learning something within what you are passionate about to develop your skills so that at least you can then be useful to society? Because the purpose of life is to be useful, and our usefulness should be to do that which touch many people's lives beyond our immediate family. And with that kind of an attitude, it then behoves me to not only think only about my immediate family, but also think about others who I don't even know, that I can use spaces, especially now that we have common spaces that we can engage people across the world. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, to then now start communicating solutions and showcasing that we can be able to become anything we want only if we accept that we are able to and start to put in the effort. And then disassociate ourselves from negative energy peddlers, those who say it can never be done always, which we have more of them in the world today than those who say it can be done, and encourage others to start doing it. So to answer your question in a very nutshell, the gap of not seeing role models to guide others to become better versions of themselves is the more reason I stepped in to fill that void, because for quite a very long time, it's not been filled. And what has been filled is more complaining and blaming people rather than saying, yes, it's not been done. Yes, we have a challenge, but let's start doing something so that at least we can make progress. Over.
Excellent answer. And before we go on to the next question, we have many more comments from Louisa Gam and Promo.
So, okay, perfect.
Gam Louisa Stacy Gam says again, wow, kindness, selflessness, collectiveness. Yes, those are all traits you need to be a leader today.
Wow, yes. And then we have Aliasu.
It's a huge responsibility. Afu, you are also a big role model to so many of us. Thanks.
Wow. Yeah, role model, right? You see, I'm not the one saying it. Yes, next question.
Okay, so Father's Day being tomorrow, what do you expect from all your children, both biological and spiritual, through innovative volunteerism, to gift you? How would you like your legacy to be passed on? Would it be through presents, a McDonald's gift card, an Aritzia hat, Nike shoes, or through a deed that doesn't necessarily involve money or financial situations?
What I do, I don't do for a reward. I mean, it's seeing a change in other people's life is what fulfills me positively. A positive change in someone's life that somebody says, as a result of you guiding and showcasing that can be done this way, I have been able to do it, makes me fulfilled. And therefore, what I do is I don't do it because I need anything in return. I just do it because I take it as a personal responsibility to be able to play that role of inspiring others to see themselves as solution providers to the challenges we face in the world today. Because everywhere you go, you see litter on the streets, plastics. You see waste. Everywhere you go, you see youth with talent who sing music. We have General Pele, we have Buster P, we have Iziko, We have a lot of people in Cameroon, in Africa, and in the world with talent. We have young men and women who are seamstresses. They sew dollars and they sew costumes and they sew that. They might not have ever had an opportunity to understand that they can be able to start looking at how they can save in Njangi or in a cooperative to get little money, take a loan, and then expand their business. But you telling them that and explaining how it can be done can inspire them. And tomorrow they come and say, what you said helped me to refocus my attention to what today I am seeing that I am making progress. That's a huge impact. And I think your question takes me to this point, which a lot of people struggle with. People think that success is only to have huge material things. No, success simply means you left where you were better than where you made it. That the people you meet, you can influence their lives in a positive way just by your words, and they become better versions of themselves. That's success. That what you say actually motivate people to see themselves as solution providers. That's success. And so that's the message that I want that every young person, young at heart, should be able to take home, and that on Father's Day, it is a day in which each and everyone should remember that he or she have a responsibility. And that responsibility should move beyond you, the individual, so they can also inspire other people. That is what Father's Day should be about. Selflessness, kindness. But I always say this, being nice doesn't mean that you need to be naive. Because what I've also noticed is that when you are nice, just nice, without also having boundaries, then people tend to take you for granted. And that is an attitude that I want to debunk, that people should appreciate nice people. They should appreciate kind people. They should appreciate selfless people, because we have very few of them on earth. And therefore, the attitude of selflessness, kindness, dedication, hard work is actually what Father's Day should be used to inculcate. And also leadership and responsibility of making sure that at least everyone become a role model. And a role model is very simple. A role model is not riding on a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini. No, it's about what you say, and it should be followed with action. It's about saying and doing. That if you say this is it, lead by example. Do it, even if the forces are against you. That if you stand and there is something that needs to be corrected and no one is taking lead to correct it, that's leadership, and that's a role model. Role models are not by abusing people and thinking that they're going to get some 5 minutes of fame and that makes them a role model. No, it's the opposite. It's about taking responsibility, taking lead, endeavoring to sacrifice and support people, not even that you know them, because it's the right thing to do. And overarchingly, it's about seeing everyone as our equal. Whether they're young or old, we are all the same. And when we recognize we are all the same and we can learn from one another, then the world becomes a better place. And that is the philosophy and the belief that I think on Father's Day, we should be able to exhibit and showcase.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Excellent words. We're all the same. And once we learn to realize that, then we can start getting ideas from each other and generating positive change throughout the world. And we have many more questions as we're hitting the 30-minute mark.
I think, yeah.
Gamwiza says, that's true, Ashley. You are doing a great job. Thanks.
Perfect. Then
again, she says, so you do it for the passion, and that's the winning point. Indeed, it is the winning point.
Indeed. Even this show is for the passion. We get nothing out of this but for the inspiration that we bring.
Anyways, Ali Young Promo says, this is exactly what we want. Thank you for exposing our calm musicians on your platform, Doctor. We are proud of you.
Thank you very much, Young Promo and General Pele. And all of you out there, right? There's Zico, there's General Pele, there is Buster P, there is Wydem, there is the guy who sang Bamenda no the carry last. I'm forgetting his name, but he's an amazing artist. There are a lot of them, lots and lots of them. There is V2K. There is, there are a lot of them, and there is actually a young kid who is singing in Cameroon. She is an amazing star. I think, is it Nadum? I think if you guys can write the names here later, I will be able to pronounce them. But all shout out to all of them out there. They're doing amazing work. I think there is also a comment from Luisa.
Your level promotion, just the point that you never forget where you coming from. Calm. The more I always like to see your post each time I am online.
Thank you very much, Luisa. Appreciate. Yes, then there is what an interesting measure to take home. Okay. Yes, and we have Luisa again saying take home message. We are all equal. Yes, indeed. Yes, there is Vinhora. He sang Bamenda no the carry last. Bamenda no the carry last. And I think we done the song now for Bamenda no the carry last. So yes, and then there is Nakoma Ostino. It's a young lady. I think she should be 12 years old or less or so or more, about 12 to 13. Amazing talent. A young lady who is doing amazing. Then Chia Vinhora, amazing job. Please put all their names here and I will show them up here. They're doing amazing work. Yes, Afu, over to you. It's very interesting. Yeah, actually, Nakoma is 10 years old. 10 years old, and she is making amazing music. Yes.
Okay. So
and Afu is 14. Yes, go ahead, Afu.
Okay. So we've hit the 30-minute mark, and now it's time for us to let's add 5 more minutes, and please continue. On top of that, we can go on a little break. As the viewers, as we're talking about music, they should hear the music that these artists are producing from across the country of Cameroon and across the village of Calm.
Wonderful. Okay, let's get on there.
My main DJ, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for making my song. A big shout out to all my guys out there. Inshallah. One love. Bismillahi. Mayana solo ngom le kala majanga wona solo ngom le kala majanga na insa pia sanga se kwazo tujanga tande kawela umena jam abana lando mbasubu yifuko majere ngaita abana lando mbasubu yifuko majere ngaita kajampu kama abana kam sani nyanga ninya Abana come from Sunny Nania. Come Sunny Nania. Come from Sunny Nania.
Yes, we are back. We are back after that Footwork. After that footwork, over to you, Afu. You have been doing an amazing moderation today and amazing questions. Yes. Now, as we wrap
over
up,
the break, we've had a lot of questions and lots of comments. So before we wrap up, let's get the viewers.
Okay, I think, yeah, perfect.
Happiness is a choice. The home enjoying homemade, or the joy enjoying homemade. Sorry.
Perfect. Yes, I think she was saying very flexible.
Very, very flexible. 45 years
Yes.
old and still got it. Wow.
What did you say?
45 years old and still got
Not
it.
yet.
That was
Not yet.
but
Not yet. Yeah, perfect. That's good. Yeah, I think we had so many comments today. Very interesting. But yes, over to you, Afu.
well, as we wrap up, I think that it's very important for the people across the world. Although this is for Father's Day, if you're not a father but you're still a role model, you're a father in spirit. And I think that many people across the continent will definitely find value to this video, as if you don't have a role model in your life, be the role model for other people. Be the light where you can't find one. And yeah, happy Father's Day. Live, laugh, love. Expect the unexpected. And see you next week.
Excellent, Afu. Thank you very much. And not just for being an amazing host, but also for taking guidance, which I think that every father and mother, every parent everywhere gets proud. I mean, becomes proud when their kids take guidance, and you are a shining example of taking guidance. So I'm a proud dad. Father's Day is an important day. As you rightly said earlier, I mean, fathers are not just authors in their own life in terms of leadership, but they can support their children by providing them not just with opportunities to learn, by providing them with the ability to think and become independent in their thinking. And I think that is something that we grew up not having, where the aspect of ideation was left only to the elders, and then the young people will be shot down anytime they brought up an idea. And I think that what I've actually done with you, why you are able to speak here very eloquently, is also that I've given you the space to think and be creative as I guide. And I think every father out there should be able to do that to their kids. And let's encourage our kids to get involved in environmental solutions, in environmental clubs, initiatives, and provide moral and practical support to them. Because at the end of the day, the examples of fathers who have been successful in their endeavor in guiding their kids is that we should be able to support our kids' passion to do right. Because just thinking that you can do ABCD, that's not passion. Encourage everyone to be able to be part of problem solving, leading to the development of solutions. And therefore, the important role of fathers in inspiring solutions, in inspiring environmental solutions among youth, and ensuring that they can be able to play their part, is an opportunity that we should all use to encourage our kids, our brothers and sisters, whether we are their parents or not, to be able to drive transformational solutions. And let's never forget that people can be able to do right when they're given the opportunity. Happy Father's Day to everyone, and let's keep going. I think there is a comment here for you.
Thank you very much, Efud. If you didn't have or don't have a role model, try to be one. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that now brings our broadcast to the end. And to all the viewers, this will be broadcasted. And if you happen to watch it, please share for others to not only listen to be part of this conversation, but to become a role model. And if you don't have a role model, become one, because you can actually touch many other lives and drive transformational solutions for many. And that's what we all need in the world. But don't forget to be nice, to be kind, to be selfless, and positive. Steer off negative energy peddlers and complainers in chief. Embrace those who bring positive energy, and know that at the end of the day, we are the ones we need if we want to drive solutions. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.